I was, doing my research on some safeties that I want to include in that start bench cut, and I was like, Ethan kind of looks like Kyle Hamilton a little bit. Have you ever gotten that?
You're not the first one. Like so Coach O'Leary and Coach Freeman, they coached Kyle.
Yeah.
And they were like, you talk, play, and look like him.
That's crazy.
It's unbelievable. Like,
especially because you're both safeties, so.
Yeah, and they're like, we're gonna have to make you wear number 14 and all that. I'm like.
Welcome back to the chat. As always, I'm your host, Samara Iman. And as a reminder, if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and let us know how you feel. And as always, I love doing this podcast because I get to talk with former and current college athletes, but today I have the opportunity of talking with a future college athlete, someone who hasn't even set foot on a college campus yet as a student and has such a bright future ahead of him. He is a 4-star recruit for football, a 2-sport athlete, and someone who is the future of Notre Dame football. Ethan Long, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So a little fun fact that I want to tell you guys is something I actually just found out today. Ethan and I actually grew up in the same neighborhood. Just found that out today. So that is pretty cool. We both grew up in Milford. So, but yeah, thank you so much for joining me. As always, I like to start from the beginning and kind of walk through your journey. I know you're only in high school, but start from the Milford Elks days, right? That's what the Pop Warner League is called.
Yes.
So let's start with those days. How did you get started playing football?
Yeah. So flag football, obviously, for the Milford. We're actually called the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
It was the Milford Eagles, and I was like 4 years old, and my dad was coaching my older brother, and I was just on the sideline, and I just ran onto the field, and they couldn't get me off. I was juking kids. I was just running around with the football. And I think that's what set them off. They were like, this kid's going to be special, and he's a football kid for sure.
And so that's how you started. That's how you started playing football. And then let's fast forward a little bit, just a little bit. So when you got to high school, you went to St. Joe's in Trumbull. It seems like we've had a lot of St. Joe's alum on this podcast. My sister went to St. Joe's, and then we've also had Jess Mazzo, who used to play soccer at St. Joe's as well. But so you went to St. Joe's, and then you ended up transferring to Brunswick, which is a prep school in Greenwich. So tell us a little bit how you got to St. Joe's and why you ended up deciding to transfer.
Yeah, so 8th grade year, didn't have a football year for like Milford Eagles, Pop Warner. Ended that off strong. Went to Florida, won games down there for the first time. That was a great experience. But I chose St. Joe's because all my boys were going there, and it was just like it was just a way for me to get out and go see like other things and just like start a new
outside of Milford
and just start like a new path. And it was a great opportunity for me to take, so I took that, and I loved it right away. Freshman year, we were supposed to have a great team, but then COVID hit, so we didn't really have a full year that year.
COVID really messed a lot of things up in the sports world.
Yeah, so we weren't even called St. Joe's; we were called Bad Sons because like St. Joe's couldn't represent us that year, and we had fun. Like we had the best time like that we could. And
so you had your own little team outside of St. Joe's. Okay.
Yeah, we had a little tournament thing. And then that year ended, and then sophomore year was the big year. Is like football's back. I was so like anxious to get on the field for the first time in 2 years, and my coach told me I was gonna play safety. So immediately I thought of my father, who also played safety at Villanova and in the NFL. Okay. And we went to the field and we just grinded for like every day for hours, and he really said like, you have a chance to be great. You just gotta, it's just in your hands now what you do with it. And I was all in. I was like, I'm for it. Yeah. So that year we just grinded, and I had a better year than I thought I was gonna have. I was very like, I was like, okay, I tapped into my potential a little bit.
You're like, okay, I could really do something with this.
Yeah, and I was like, I was having a great time. I had great teammates, great coaches, and it was an awesome year. We fell short. We lost in the semifinals of state championship, but, I learned a lot that year, and it was a great experience.
So I didn't know that your dad played football actually, but so I'm sure he's so proud of where you're going. So you get to Brunswick. What was that like for you?
Yeah, so obviously transferring from St. Joe's, where I met so many great people, was hard. It was a big risk I had to take, moving out of my own home, going to start a new path again, and I'm so blessed, and I was so blessed and grateful for God giving me that opportunity, because it really did start a new beginning for me, and it gave me an opportunity to chase my dreams.
Yeah, so, I'm sure, especially after COVID, that was probably a fresh start.
Yes, and I talked about it with my family after multiple conversations. We were just like, this is the best move for you to reclass and to really get yourself out there for exposure for colleges, if that's what you really want. And I was like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
So a lot of prep schools reached out to me, like Avon, Choate, Cheshire Academy, all those great schools.
All great schools, yeah.
But Brunswick stuck out to me because it was a day school.
So you didn't have to move away from your family?
Completely, yeah. And then Coach McGillicuddy, my head coach, he was all in on me. He was like, I'm gonna take care of you and make sure you get where you want to be. And that's all it took. Like, it was like he was going to do what's best for me and put me first. And I'm so grateful for him.
Yeah.
And another factor was just I had old friends that went there that really were like, this is where you gotta go. This is gonna fit you well, and we really need you. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pull the trigger. And I took the jump, and I landed.
And I know Brunswick is a school that has had many college athletes go through that school, and then I saw that a few NFL players have gone to Brunswick as well. So I'm sure that didn't hurt.
Yeah, so Cornelius Johnson, wide receiver at Michigan, went to Brunswick. I trained with him in New Canaan when he comes home. He's a great athlete. Just knowing, thinking that he went to Brunswick and started something there was awesome. And
and now you're following in those footsteps.
Hopefully, yeah. He's a great player. So.
And so your last season at Brunswick, the team went 5-4. So I know you mentioned you're gonna graduate a little early next year, but your last season of playing high school football, what were kind of your main takeaways from this past season, and what do you look to kind of improve on and hopefully get out of your last year?
Yeah, so coming into Brunswick, we won NEPSACs. We went 9-1. That's a great year for us. We won it all, best in New England, and unfortunately we had a lot of kids leave, but we had great kids coming back, great talent, and we thought we could have a great year. So we came in and we worked hard. Don't get us wrong, we worked hard all summer, all off season, and we put everything we had. But it was just those close games we just couldn't finish out, and I think that taught us we're right there with these guys. This isn't who we are. This doesn't define us, and we really had to think about what we could do, what you
can change.
Exactly. And then our coaches never gave up on us. We never gave up on each other. And I think that's just something that made us closer. And I think we're just gonna get ready. My last season, we're ready to come back and win it all again. Yeah,
I was gonna say you're ready to win a chip your final year. So for everyone who doesn't know, Ethan just committed to play at Notre Dame. He's a class of 2025. As he mentioned, you can see the sweatshirt. As he mentioned, he reclassified in 2022. So how does one become a 4-star recruit? What are the things that you had to do to get to this point? Tell us about some of the camps you might have went to, or how you trained. I'm sure the fact that your dad also played kind of helped, kind of figure out what's the path you need to take. But so yeah, how does one become a 4-star recruit?
Well, first it starts with your academics. You have to have great grades, good grades, just to be able to put yourself out there, with your transcripts and all that. And then,
well, I'm sure your coaches at Notre Dame love to hear that. They love to hear that you're academically focused. Yes, because Notre Dame is a great school academically.
Awesome. And then yeah, but it's all, you got to work so hard. There's really not there's no days off. You have to really lock in, just make sure tap into your inner self and really think hard. Like, this is what you really want? Because this is like, it's like a job. It's every single day. Like, you have to watch what you're doing. You can't mess up here. You can't mess up there. Kind of have to be perfect a little bit because you have eyes watching you all the time. And you just have to really think about it. Like, becoming a 4-star recruit is like once in a lifetime. It's like a dream for a lot of kids. And you have to just believe in yourself, first of all. Don't listen to what other people say. Just keep going. And if you believe you can do it, you will achieve it. And just stay close to the people that have always believed in you.
And so, like I said, so what are some of like the camps, like, because I know Connecticut, football wise, like St. Joe's has been pretty good historically. There's been a lot of guys just in Connecticut in general who have also played college football. So like, what were some of the things that you did in terms of going to camps or, you know, training with the right people? What were some of those things?
Yeah, so my parents were great about this, like taking me to these camps. So I went to Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Okay.
Villanova.
So a lot of those
Boston
Power
College.
5 schools.
Yeah, we went to all those because like when they come into school, Wake Forest, all the ACC, all the Big Ten, and like when they say like come camp, it's just you look at it like, don't get down on yourself they didn't offer you. It's another opportunity to go prove yourself. And that's how I thought about it. And I told my parents, like, I promise you, if we go, I will get this for us. And that's what I did. And then I earned it, I feel like. And it was another thing was at Brunswick we had a combine.
Okay.
Basically where all college coaches could come. So we had over 150 coaches there. And I was able to showcase my talents in front of them, my explosiveness, my speed, my fluidness, and
everything.
And I just took advantage of that, and I just did it.
And so when did you, I know you went through all of this, but when did you really know that you had the chance to not only play for a Division I college, but a Power 5 school? So, you know, like a school with a huge legacy in terms of football. So when did you really know you could, you know, play with the guys at the top?
So after my St. Joe's sophomore year, I got a couple offers from University of Massachusetts and Villanova, and I was like, "This is a blessing. I'm so grateful for this." But then,
did you know it was coming, or were you shocked?
I did. I was surprised. My dad cried when I got the Villanova one because he went to Villanova, and when I got that one, he was really like.
I'm sure he was probably pushing for Villanova a little bit. He made me put the hat on the table, and I decided. But just to show the name out there.
Yeah, but that was just like when I realized I could play at the top of the top was after my first season at Brunswick. These coaches like started to come in a lot, and really like they talked to me a lot, and like it boosted my confidence. And then like another thing I realized, like I didn't allow a single catch on me that whole year.
Oh wow. And
I was like, I'm locked in. Like I'm
that was really, a good season for you.
I'm about this. So
he was built for this.
I was ready, and I just that's when I really took the big jump to go for it. And I
rest is history.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you mentioned UMass, you mentioned Villanova. So a few of the other schools that you receive offers from are Ohio State, Michigan, Wisconsin, Penn State, Michigan State, Duke. The list goes on. So what made you choose Notre Dame? So I've heard that you said a quote, "A player doesn't choose Notre Dame. Notre Dame chooses you." So what went into that decision? When did you really know, like, this is where I'm going to play for college?
Yeah, so it was obviously one of the hardest choices, like, decisions I ever had to make. And every single time I stepped foot on that campus, like, it just felt right. Like, I felt home. My heart was racing, and, like, the way they welcomed me and my family, like, it was just unbelievable. And then the plans that they said they had for me, like, there's a thing called the 4 for 40. You're in college for 4 years, but it's really about the 40 years of what it's like after. And whether that's I play football after college or the business industry or any job after college, like, it's just like they
prepare you.
They have the alum base, and it's just all the connections were just like, okay, this is what's gonna set me up for life. I gotta think big, and that's like one of their sayings is the think big, and then the golden standard, which is actually on my wrist right here.
Okay.
And it's their motto it's challenge everything, unit strength, and competitive spirit, which is, I love that. Like, it's like
you're really embodying that. Yeah,
it's like put your team first, not you. You know, we're a family here. Like, you have to have like that competitive spirit in the classroom and on the field, in the workout, in the gym. So like, I think that's just what it is, like what it was.
That's what set it apart from all the other schools. Yeah, and then I'm sure it's the 13 national championships. Then I'm sure that probably helped a little bit. But I mean, as I mentioned, Notre Dame is a very prestigious school academically, but also when it comes to football, there's a huge legacy. So what does that mean to you to be joining, you know, a school and a team where there's so much tradition?
Yeah, the tradition at Notre Dame is unbelievable. Like
the touchdown Jesus,
first down Moses. It goes on and on.
Yeah.
And Coach Freeman, Coach O'Leary, Coach Golden, they all understand that meaning, and they really they take it all in, and they have passion with it. Like, they coach with all their heart, and they will put everything they have into this because they understand that Notre Dame is
what it is.
It's crazy the tradition that goes on there, because it's really like that school when you look back in history.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was gonna ask about the coaches. So I know you just went there for the junior day. How's your experience been with the coaches and just kind of like the current players so far? Because I mean, Coach Freeman, I watch a lot of college football as well, and he seems like a great guy, and that he really loves the school but also loves his players. So how's that experience been?
It's been unbelievable. Coach Freeman and Coach O'Leary. Coach O'Leary is the safeties coach, and everyone knows Coach Freeman.
Yeah.
Two of the most swaggiest coaches I think I ever met. Like, so much energy, and it's just unbelievable how they really handle themselves, and like you said, like, they're gonna do what's best for me. They would have they're gonna put it all on the line for me. And then Coach Golden, the defensive coordinator, is like more old school.
Yeah.
But he understands.
He understands the young guys.
This generation, and like they really they know how to talk to us and like coach us and put the best of our ability on that field.
And what about some of the current players? I know obviously some of them won't be there because you still have till 2025, but have you been able to interact with a lot of the current players?
Yeah, so obviously the 2024 kids that just went there this year, that early enrolled, like Cam Williams, CJ Carr, and more. Like, they're all great kids that like have been talking to me like, this is way better than what we thought, and like this is like, I'm like, it's a big jump, like, from high school to college, and I'm like, I'm ready too, because like they're like, it's a job now, like it's a full on job.
But I'm sure I know you have a little bit left of high school, but I'm sure you're probably just eager to get there.
But then like other safeties that are there, like Xavier Watts, he just won Defensive Player of the Year, and he's a safety, and like that's someone like
someone you look up to, kind of?
Yes, because like that's like, that could be me if I like, that could be me in a couple of years if I work just as hard as him. So
yeah. And I know so actually, speaking of some of the commits, Ivan Taylor, Christopher Burgess Jr., Cree Thomas, I'm sure you probably saw some of them at the junior day, but what have those relationships been like? Have you been able to start building those relationships already, and which player out of the rest of your class are you looking forward to playing with the most? I know it's probably hard to choose just one, but yeah.
So there's so many of us. Like I'll go down the list: Deuce Knight, Ivan Taylor, Cree Thomas, Davion Dixon, Chris, Justin Thurman, and there's just like way more that like I can't even think of because we have so many right now. They're all great kids, like that we all fit so well together. Like, we talk all the time, and like I got really close with Deuce, Ivan, and Cree right now because Ivan and Cree are obviously DBs just like me. So we're gonna be like right now we're that DB room that has control of the field.
So that's who you're gonna really be with all the time while you're at Notre Dame.
Yeah, and I'm so glad it's those two right now. And like we're gonna add a couple more that we're really excited about, hopefully. And we're just getting started. And
I love that.
So Ivan and Cree are the best. But someone I look forward to playing with the most, I gotta go with Ivan.
Okay.
Ivan is
Yeah, I saw a few of the pictures you guys took did you take this picture on Junior Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they put us in the green jerseys, and we were
you're ready. You're ready.
We were like, we like this. Like, they never put us in the green.
I like this.
But yeah, we were like, we got to take some pictures together, and like just being with him in that uniform, like just next to him was like a great feeling.
It felt right.
And we were like, this is going to be the duo.
Okay. Well, now we know who we'll look out for starting 2025. And speaking of 2020, it's, looking forward to 2025. So we know some of the teams that you guys will be playing in 2025: USC, Navy, BC, Miami, NC State, Syracuse, and Pitt. Out of all of those teams, what game do you think you're looking forward to playing the most?
Probably got to be USC.
I was gonna say I know that's a rivalry, so yeah. I'm sure that's probably on the top of the list.
Definitely gotta go at USC. The rest of the Big Ten, like just to make a statement, like not to count us out. But, those are the games that we like a little bit. Then there's teams like BC and Syracuse that come at it like that. They play really well against us, and we gotta keep our heads on a swivel with those teams, because like they think they can hang with us, but they can't.
All right, so we're going to transition a little bit into a rapid-fire Q&A portion, make it snappy. So this is where I kind of want you to just spit out whatever comes to your head. So we're going to make it snappy, okay?
All right.
All right, ready? All right, favorite football player?
Ooh, favorite football player right now has got to be... This is hard. This is really hard. I'm trying to think.
I feel like I always stump my guess with these, even though it's called Make It Snappy, but it's okay. I'll make an exception.
Easily Kyle Hamilton, safety at the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because I'm gonna come back to that one. Favorite NFL team?
Steelers.
Oh, that's interesting. Favorite TV show?
Okay, so some people are gonna hate on me for this, but favorite TV show, Drake and Josh, or Henry Danger.
No, that's a good one. Biggest football pet peeve?
I hate trick plays, first of all, and then I hate when linemen pull.
What position would you want to play if you weren't a safety?
If I wasn't a safety, I would play either quarterback or corner.
Okay. Well, I guess corner is pretty similar, but pick six to win a game, or a game-ending interception?
Pick six.
Easy. If Notre Dame could play one team that isn't already on the schedule for 2025, which team would you want to play?
I would want to go at either. I would want to go with Georgia, Oregon, or UCLA.
Okay, big shots. NFL safeties: start, bench, cut. Derwin James, Minka Fitzpatrick, or Kyle Hamilton. Start, bench, cut.
Damn. I'm starting my boy Kyle. Like, so many, Kyle's my guy.
Yeah. I figured.
Starting Kyle, benching Micah, and I'm cutting Derwin.
Okay. Last one. If you could be on a team with one notable Notre Dame football alum, who would it be?
Alumni. I would probably want to go with my cousin Austin Webster.
Okay, cool. All right, well, that was Make It Snappy. If you have any thoughts on some of those answers, let us know in the comments. So going back to talking about Kyle Hamilton a little bit, it's funny you say that, because I was doing my research on some safeties that I want to include in that start, bench, cut, and I was like, Ethan kind of looks like Kyle Hamilton a little bit. Have you ever gotten that?
You're not the first one. So Coach O'Leary and Coach Freeman, they coached Kyle.
Yeah.
And they were like, you talk, play, and look like him.
That's crazy.
It's unbelievable. Like,
especially because you're both safeties, so.
Yeah, and they're like, we're going to have to make you wear number 14 and all that. I'm like, whatever.
What number are you?
I'm number 8.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm not
You're not opposed, but you don't really, you want to stick on the Ray, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I'm not saying I'm Kyle. Like, Kyle's a great player, like All-American and all that.
Yeah.
And I would have to work hard for it, for what he did.
Well, hopefully you'll get to that point. And I mean, obviously he plays in the NFL, so hopefully you'll get to that point. I do want to talk about some, current events and talk about kind of like the NFL playoffs, and I know the college football playoffs just happened. So I kind of want to get your take on the college football playoffs.
Yeah, so obviously they're moving to the 12 team playoff, which is great because so many teams should have made it.
Yeah.
And it was so hard for the committee to make a decision.
Yeah. What do you think about the Florida State decision?
I mean, I think I was more mad that Georgia didn't make it because Georgia probably they were really good. Like they just showed they beat another team by 60 points in playoffs.
Yeah.
But
Bama took them out.
Yeah. But like, and that's the thing. Like, one loss shouldn't really define you. And having the 12 team playoff, it shows like it's like more of like anything can happen. Like there's underdogs in this playoff. So I think I'm really excited for that because the Irish are going to be in that. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure you're happy that they're expanding that. So this past season, some of my favorite players to watch were like Bo Nix, Michael Penix. Who were some of your favorite players to watch in the playoffs? Or not just in the playoffs, but this kind of entire season?
Yeah, and my favorite players to watch this year were probably all the ND players: Sam Hartman, Estime, Xavier Watts, Benjamin Morrison, Cam Hart. All those guys were just great to watch.
ND through and through.
Marvin Harrison though was someone that every single game was making plays, and that was a great person to watch. And then Cornelius Johnson from Michigan, he was and then one they call him Frozone, but Mike Spinatrill from Michigan, he's a safety. Yeah, he was someone I was like, this guy, he brings it, so he's gonna be a steal for whoever takes him.
And I know like one of the biggest storylines this season was like Colorado and Deion Sanders. Did you watch any of the Colorado games? I know, there was like the Colorado craze this season. So did you catch any of the games, or kind of were you following it at all?
I was following. I'm a big fan of Travis Hunter and obviously Shador. Yeah. But like again, like there's just it takes more than two people to carry a team. Yeah. And I think they're definitely on the rise though. Like primetime Deion knows he knows what he's doing. So they're gonna be trouble for people.
Is that a team you would like to play in the future?
I would like to play them. That's just
I mean, obviously Shador and Travis probably won't be there. Yeah. But
still, that would be just hopefully Deion's still coaching. Just the opportunity to play against him would be great.
Yeah, and I know you say you watched Travis a little bit. Who's a college player who you really watched this season to kind of, I guess, like model your game after a little bit, but who you just kind of watched, kind of what they do on the field, just as a safety?
And in college, so in college there was three people. Like I said, there was Mike Spinatrill from Michigan. That was someone I watched a lot, like all of his highlights. Xavier Watts, the safety from Notre Dame, and then my third person that I watched that really was a shocker was Josh Wallace, also from Michigan at corner. Okay.
So you're watching a lot of Michigan games this year.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I was. Just because Cornelius was like an insider, so we talked a lot, and he was like, if you want to see what we're doing, so he sent me a couple of those.
Oh yeah, because you got a offer from Michigan, so yeah.
So yeah, when I went to visit, I talked to those guys, and it was great. So
okay, cool. So getting into the NFL a little bit, obviously we have the Super Bowl coming up. Unfortunately, your Steelers are not.
It's all right.
In it, but
it's all right.
It's okay. You said your favorite player is Kyle Hamilton, so Baltimore will have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. But what team do you really want to see win the Super Bowl this year? Because I think there's a lot of great storylines. Obviously, Detroit, it's huge for their city. Ravens, you got Lamar. He's playing great. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, obviously they're always relevant. You got Taylor Swift and all that. Then the 49ers, they've obviously been great this year. You got Christian McCaffrey, Brock, and Debo. So what team do you really want to see win the Super Bowl this year?
I want to see the Ravens. I want Lamar to get one finally because
I agree.
I've been a big fan of Lamar, especially when I play Madden. I'm running that ball with him every time.
Yeah.
But I want to see a Ravens 49ers Super Bowl, and I want to see the Ravens come out on top.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I do want to see Detroit, do well, but maybe not in the Super Bowl. Sorry, Detroit fans, but and I think it's time for the Chiefs to let someone else, have the spotlight. They can sit this year out. But yeah, so what other kind of, obviously the Steelers lost to the Bills. What is your take on, their coaching situation right now?
All I know is the defense is always going to be great.
Yeah.
So that's not really.
TJ Watt.
Yeah, and we got Micah, like you said, in the backfield.
Yeah.
They just fly around. So I think we'll be all right. Coach takes us every year to a good year.
Yeah.
And hopefully he makes the right, in the offseason, makes the right decisions. So.
Yeah, and I know I'm sure it probably sucked to see TJ not playing against the Bills. That was, a big loss for them.
Yeah, he's a big-time player that's going to make big-time plays. And not having him probably hurt us a little bit to pressure Josh Allen because Josh is huge.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but pretty much my last question to kind of wrap things up. So obviously you mentioned you're going to be leaving Brunswick a little early, but what's really next for you? What's up until you get to Notre Dame? What are you going to be doing to kind of continue to improve your game, but also prepare for the transition?
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to work on being a leader, just becoming a leader for my team and just, let them know that, I'm going to, lead them through this season and, we'll come out on top, hopefully. Mm-hmm. And then just making sure, my grades are great, that I have the opportunity to leave early and go chase my dreams at Notre Dame. And then, obviously, it's my last year, so I'm going to take it all. I'm taking it all in. Mm-hmm. So I'm obviously going to just take advantage of that and just have fun, be a kid a little bit, and just know that I have eyes watching me, people watching me. Mm-hmm. So I have to be that guy that people are he's a good kid, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, good kid on and off the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess to wrap us up, what are you looking forward to most when you get to Notre Dame? Obviously, I'm sure you're not just getting on the field, but kind of what are you looking forward to the most in terms of, whether it's a specific tradition there or anything?
Yeah. So probably lighting my first candle as a student at the grotto, they call it. Just making my first wish. And then... What's
that wish going to be? Well, I guess you can't tell us.
I can't say, but hopefully, just doing that. And then that's always something I love to do with my family, of course. Mm-hmm. But then just, getting to know, getting ready on that football team, just grinding with my boys, getting my workouts in and getting my meal plans and all that is going to be great just to see me transition and transform my body into something.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited for you. Well, we will all be tuning into Notre Dame football in 2025. That is a shout out to everyone to be sure to tune in because I'm sure, Ethan has a great future ahead of him. And like you said, I know you mentioned Kyle Hamilton is someone you look up to, and obviously you went to Notre Dame. So I'm sure of it. You're gonna have a great career at Notre Dame, and hopefully we'll see you, take the field in the NFL one day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, if you enjoyed this episode, leave a comment down below to give a shout out to Ethan. But thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of The Chat, and we'll see you next time.
Go Irish.